Mercy Hospital was founded by the Sisters of Mercy, so you'd expect to find a Bible or two in the main building. But you'd never expect to find one like this.
It's a work of art that took 23 artists 15 years to create. It's truly remarkable.
It's called the St. John's Bible, named for St. John's Abbey and University in Minnesota, which commissioned that team of artists and calligraphers to create a Bible of, well, biblical proportions.
People come to the St. John's Bible thinking, I know what a Bible is. They have that picture in their mind of this little book that they hold so dear and share to them. And the first thing people always say is, oh my gosh, I had no idea this is what it was like.
All this started in 1995 when St. John's was approached by Donald Jackson, a calligrapher so talented he is the official scribe for both Queen Elizabeth and the British House of Lords. He wanted to create what is known as an Illuminated Bible. But Jackson also knew the project was too big to be done by just one artist. So a team was assembled to help him handwrite the Bible while also creating beautiful and complex illustrations, not of Bible stories, but of biblical ideas left for the beholder's eyes to interpret. And just to make the undertaking even more complex, the artists worked with real quills and used old-fashioned ink made from soot.
You can't remove the human hand. Sometimes you spell a word wrong. Sometimes you write, and 2 months later you notice, I skipped a line. You do a little fun insertion that says, oops, we made a mistake. Draw something fun like a bird, and maybe the bird's feet are holding a rope, and the rope travels down the line and says, oops, this line belongs up here. Out of 1,130 pages, we have 9 corrections in the St. John's Bible. That's a miracle in itself.
It is 2 feet tall and 3 feet wide, but this is not the entire St. John's Bible. In fact, it's not even the original. This is one volume from 229 sets of fine art replicas called the Heritage Edition, meticulously rendered lithographs true to the original, except that in the traveling editions, gold foil was used instead of the gold leaf paint featured in the original.
Many people find themselves overwhelmed by the St. John's Bible. They will approach it with that first sense of inquisitiveness, and then they find themselves caught off guard because it impacts them. It's a very visceral experience to approach the handwritten pages and to see the consistency of that script, page after page after page, and then also the imagery and how it draws you in.
On its first day at Mercy,
We've cataloged everything.
visitors had the opportunity to meet the director of the St. John's Bible program, who shared insights about the book, like how the family tree of Christ includes subtle representations of DNA streaming around a not-so-subtle menorah. On another page, 2 gold rectangles have been interpreted by many as representing the Twin Towers.
We often get asked, why would you do something like this, especially in the modern age when you can go to any hotel room and open up a drawer and get a free copy of the Bible. Why would you spend time, talent, and treasure on doing something like this? And the best answer to that question is because we didn't have to. This is something we didn't have to do, but in not having to do it, it was something we were compelled to do.
The St. John's Bible is touring St. Louis for an entire year. The visit is sponsored by the Archdiocese. Mercy says it was chosen as one of the locations because it is a ministry of the church as well as a hospital. The fact that it used to be called St. John's Hospital is apparently just a coincidence.
These are meant to be shared together because if I said, look at that by yourself, you'd see something, but you wouldn't see everything.
The St. John's Bible is now on display in the main lobby. It's being kept in a glass case, but the pages will be turned every few days, and there will be more special events where the Bible will be out in the open and, as always, open to interpretation.
In the modern age, the Bible itself is a remarkable thing, but it's something that has become so commonplace, we wanted to find a way to elevate it, but to remind people that the Bible is communal. And so we wanted to create a work of art that is so large that it takes an entire community to use it. The Bible by its very nature is communal, and the St. John's Bible invites people in to share it in a communal way.